If you want to get jacked in 2025 as a natty, you're up against an avalanche of BS. Everyone is trying to claim that they have the secret to gains with their wacky lifting techniques and trends, when the real secret is that they're on gear. You can't just follow the workouts of someone who's on gear and expect to get the same results. It's like comparing apples to genetically modified, hyper-engineered oranges. You'll end up frustrated and constantly questioning your progress, and you'll convince yourself that that teenager on trend has the lifting hack you need, instead of just realizing you need to put in the hard work. So if you want no BS advice tailored for natties, here are the 5 best creators to follow if you want to get jacked in 2025. Each creator will cover a key problem we all want or need to solve. Aesthetic focused training, injury prevention, gains maxing, exercise technique, and exercise selection. Tyler is the quiet genius of fitness, but you've probably already seen him on TikTok or Insta, and now he's quickly dominating YouTube. His channel isn't about flashy edits or clickbait titles, it's all about substance. Tyler breaks down lifting in a way that's approachable, scientifically sound, and sustainable for long-term growth. He knows that the more complicated movements we try, the more we get wrong, and the more we get wrong, the more likely we are to quit. For most of us, it's all about getting the basics right, and his content focuses on the in-depth do's and don'ts of training. Tyler puts on a focus on aesthetics with an amazing physique to match his knowledge. What I really love is his attention to helping us understand what he's saying. Complicated terms like scapular retraction or abduction.
To scapular retraction, it's gonna be more your traps and rhomboids. Instead, I like to keep my shoulder blades more protracted, so a little bit more stretched further apart, and I focus on rowing while keeping my shoulder blades in place.
These are things I never really understood until I watched his videos that have these really handy descriptions of these kind of terms. You'll really want to check out his guide to the 3 most important muscles to train for aesthetics. But even if we've nailed what to train, let's be honest. Every Jimbo's weakness, our kryptonite, is getting injuries from ego lifting. We've all had tweaks, strains, and full-on setbacks, and if you haven't yet, you're probably about to. And the saddest thing about them is they always make us miss out the best gains of our life. Luckily, at number 4, we have Jeremy Ethier. Jeremy's videos bring Netflix-level documentaries to YouTube. He's one of the best evidence-based training kings, converting complicated research papers into actionable advice that anyone can follow. His visuals are really polished, and his content is perfect for people who want to understand the why behind the movements that they're doing. If you've ever been overwhelmed by jargon like mechanical tension or hypertrophy stimulus, Jeremy simplifies it with his examples and really minimalistic graphics. His injury prevention series is a must-watch if you've ever been out of the gym because of ego lifting like me. He clearly explains the problem, addresses common misconceptions, and then gives you simple solutions. I've dropped one of his best videos on this in the description below. Our number 3, Dr. Mike Israetel, is a wild card because yes, he's on gear, but he always makes it a point to address it to new audiences.
If it's okay to say, I was recently on like a boatload of steroids, like the worst ones.
But he's also one of the most knowledgeable educators on hypertrophy, the science behind gaining muscle. If you want to maximize your gains and time at the gym, Mike will help you through taking advantage of advanced lifting protocols like volume and fatigue management, as well as periodization. Mike's strength lies in educating lifters on how to train smarter and harder. His humor and personality makes these complex topics enjoyable to learn about, and he's unmatched in his programming. This is a recent video by Dr. Israetel about high versus low reps for improving muscle gain, but just looking at it, it's a beautiful example of how structured his videos are. They're not just random rants. But one of my favorite series from him is his Targeting the Muscle series. I've always had a problem knowing if I should feel a certain muscle while I'm doing an exercise, not overly using my forearms for something like a lat pull down. His video on that and many others fix that right up. And building onto the specifics of biomechanics is our number 2, Eugene Teo. Eugene is all about tailored exercise form. He's like the biomechanical Bill Nye of the fitness world.
Is what's the difference between these 2 curl exercises here? This dumbbell curl is really easy down here. I can hang out here forever, but it gets really challenging up at this point. Whereas this shallow angle preacher curl is really challenging here at the bottom position, but I can get to here and hang out forever.
If you've ever felt like the exercises that you're told to do just don't feel right and you know you're leaving gains on the table, his videos will help you. This is because he focuses on teaching you individualized body mechanics for specific exercises. I had no idea that when it comes to technique, squat form is not a one-size-fits-all thing. I've taken so much bad advice from people who say like this is the one thing that you need to do to fix your squat form when it's only tailored to people with their specific body type. Eugene's video on this makes it really clear why we sometimes need to tailor the exercise to our body structure.
If you lean forwards in your squat or feel like your lower back fatigues well before your legs do when you're doing a barbell squat, you've probably been told it's an issue with your mobility. If you look at Katrina and I, we are roughly the same height, yet we have different leg lengths. This isn't an unusual thing, as all humans have different relative structures. If Katrina was to stay more upright, the weight of the bar will be pulled too far behind her midfoot and she'll topple over backwards. And by contrast, if I did too much of a forward lean with my structure, I'll topple over forwards from the weight of the bar, which is why my natural tendency is to stay a lot more upright.
Our number one spot is reserved for the king of lifting education on YouTube. But I know so many people are sleeping on one of his best resources available because he made it way before he got popular. No list would be complete without Jeff Nippard. He is the gold standard for science-based lifting advice, and he's arguably one of the most influential people in this space. And it's because Jeff has mastered the art of balancing education with actionable takeaways. Whether it's hypertrophy, nutrition, or fitness trends, Jeff backs everything up with data. And as a fully natural lifter, he's one of the best role models to show how science and hard work go hand in hand to create an epic physique. If you've only subscribed to Jeff recently or even in the last year, you're missing out on his best resource. His Lifting Basics series is a must-watch and will help you understand 100 times more of what all the creators are saying in the science space. The video editing quality are a bit outdated to the amazing things he produces now, but everything he teaches within has stood the test of time. When you learn his fundamentals of lifting, you'll start to understand why certain fitness influencers recommend the things that they do, which will teach you to separate out the hype from what will actually get you jacked. And his free video playlists on full workout routines, his science-based training splits playlists are invaluable for building a strong foundation and optimizing your training. He's made it so informative that you literally just plug and play. This is the pinnacle of what education on YouTube should be, and what I hope to strive for myself. There are so many more amazing fitness creators out there, but this list is reserved for the best of the best, so I have missed a lot of great contenders. Let me know who I skipped in the comments and how they helped you. I'll be experimenting with the series of finding the best creators on the internet for specific topics, and there are a lot of areas of life that I want to cover within my Octacore framework. So if you have any suggestions of topics or life areas that I should cover to find the best creators in each space, I'd love to hear from you guys. Anyways, I'm Michael, and I hope you design yourself a fulfilling day.